pull it out, flick it open, and you slick your hair back, and then as I'm sitting in this high rise overlooking the beach, great view, right? I was just happier when I had less. And then once you leave and all of it's taken away from you, you're like, damn, I really had it good.
You had a Liz Frank injury your first year. You didn't leave the league unscathed. Healthcare is a huge point of emphasis for you.
I'm close enough to the game where I still know guys and still feel the pains of it, but I'm also far enough to realize what I missed and what needs to be filled. We're going into a world you know nothing about and trying to sit here and thrive in it. So I was like, you know what, I need to put my 10,000 hours rule. It's a very eye-opening experience to be a novelist at 32, right?
It's humbling.
It's very, very humbling. And it's funny because I, in some ways, put the cart in front of the horse. I just jumped into it. I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. This is another episode of the Athletes and Asses podcast. Welcome. It's about time you showed up. My name's Noah Lack. I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about entrepreneurship and the business they're building. Today, we got a great guest today, man. My guy, Malik Jackson, 10-year NFL defensive tackle, your offensive lineman's worst nightmare. Quarterbacks had nightmares about my guy, and now he's taking a step in the entrepreneurial route, founding the Care League, building the basically healthcare repository for retired athletes, giving them, the services of the proper healthcare providers. And Malik, apologies if I botched that, but good thing we have you on the show to actually clear the air up. Malik, how we doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on the platform. It's an honor and a pleasure. Hello to all your fans out there. And your intro was good. You were good.
Yeah, well, hopefully some of my fans, which I don't know how much we have right now, will be your fans after this. But Malik, what we do on here, man, is to skip the small talk. Rate my celebration. This is my sack celebration. So I want you to imagine I got a sack, and then I do my shit. Ready?
Okay.
And if you're on Spotify, you may not see this because I'm doing a quiet visual. But if you're on YouTube, you get to enjoy this.
I think it's good. If out of 10, I'd give you a 6. You got to loosen your shoulders. You got to relax. You got to be cool. You got to.
That's your celebration. I try to do your.
I recognize it.
You hit the. Is it two first or is it one?
So it's really you gotta at first you gotta pull the comb out your back pocket, right, and then you slick. So. Let me just go back. When I made the celebration, I was at home. I was getting sacks in Jacksonville. I was doing fairly well. I had my second contract, and I was like, man, I need to come up with a celebration. I need to be an in-home name,
Yeah.
These kids, and I was like, who's cool? And I was like, I said John Travolta from Grease is cool. All right, well, what does he do? And I was like, well, he has that hair and he slicks it back. So I was like, all right, well, I'll pull the comb out of my back pocket. It's one of those fold combs. So you pull it out, you flick it open, and you slick your hair back, and then you give a little wink. I had a visor on, so you couldn't see me, but you give a little wink to the ladies, right? You're just like,
oh man! First of all, John Travolta, great pull from Grease. Wow.
Yeah.
You're a TV guy, you're a movie guy, that's a great.
I'm
pull.
a movie guy. It was John Travolta. It was close between John Travolta and Johnny Bravo. Those are my two inspirations for how to look cool, right? So, yeah.
Johnny Bravo. That's another good one.
Yes, sir.
I like the guys who have the same celebration every time. I actually have an appreciation for that. Instead of doing a different dance every time, I want to know as a fan, when Malik hits the shit out of the quarterback, he's actually going to do the same thing so I could do it with him.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I wanted to do and what I wanted to make. Just something that when kids see me, or people walk by, it's like that, wow, that's, hey, Malik, just create that, that normality and that connection. So that's one thing I was really looking to do.
Yeah, and man, I don't think people realize the squad you guys had in Jacksonville on that line, man. It was you, Yannick, Calais Campbell. I mean, dude, I think Calais Campbell could have been in the WWE.
I definitely think so as well. I think Calais is a man of many facets. We had a little commercial. We had to act out. A little scene of wrestling, and it was just cool to do. Calais is one of my good friends, great dude. I'm happy he's still doing it, at a high level. So I'm always rooting for him.
They got Calais. 6'8", 282. Ain't no way he's only 282. No way.
My boy's a good almost, I would have to say, about 300. You know, the way he's looking out there, maybe even a 315, but he's so long, it's like you don't really see it as that, you know. So it's funny. I compare him to the worms from Men in Black. I'm like, man, that's Calais right there, the little worms from Men in Black. But nah, he's a great dude. He really taught me a lot, and it's funny just being with them. After practice, he said, "Hey Malik, how much money you got in your account?" And I'm just like, damn, okay. So he just really talks about financial literacy and being able to understand the stock market, what your investments are, and him asking that question really puts you on the forefront of having to be like, okay, do I know what I'm doing? Do I know? Am I just giving my money to my financial advisors and letting them do it, right? So it's just an understanding of really taking ownership of what you have and who you are.
So Calais Campbell would actually see what's in your bank account or ask you what's in your bank account to sort of make sure you're, not going broke in front of his eyes.
No, 100%. It's funny because the first time he asked me, I was just like, damn, this was right little before, this is what, 2016, 17. So I guess the Chase app and all that wasn't necessarily really a thing yet. You know what I mean? But he would just ask you to see if you knew and just really see if you're sitting here depending on people or if you're really taking charge and being kind of the boss of your own life, So it was really an eye-opening question. So, it just made me sit there and be like, okay, I think I need to be a little bit more informed about, one, how much I'm getting after taxes and learning what am I investing in, just be a little bit more in the know.
So your big stints were Denver and Jacksonville. Did you feel a difference in things you were concerned about financially, Denver versus Florida? Florida, they don't have that, a little easy on the taxes, right? So
Sure.
What was that difference?
First of all, it's funny because my first contract in Denver, 4 years, was a 4-year 2.1, right? So break that down, it's like what, 250 a year, something like that. And you were just living, you didn't know any better, right? You're a kid from college, didn't have much. You're like, hell yeah, this is awesome. A little 2-bedroom apartment. Then I signed my second deal in Jacksonville, was a 6-year, $90 million deal. Things change a little bit.
Hey, that smile comes a little wider, you know what I'm saying? The beard is trimmed a little better. No, I hear you.
You know what I mean? You're just living and went from a 2-bedroom apartment in a nice, residential area to a nice high-rise overlooking the beach in Jacksonville. The one thing I did learn that I tell people is that when I got the money, you get this kind of grandioso vibe. You think, I'm great now. I'm this, I'm that. The ladies are gonna love me. This, and that. But you realize, I really realized, one, if you're not a good person or really have self-worth, then the money's just gonna heighten really who you are. So if you have insecurities, if you can't, it's not gonna really put you in a space where you can just walk in and your money speaks for you. That's not what it is. And it's funny, I tell people, when I got the deal, I was like, man, I was sitting there one day, and the craziest statement, I said, man, I wish I had less. I was happy. No, I said, I wish I was happier when I had less, right? It's just because now people are expecting money from you. Now people are expecting things, right? You have all this money. Everybody knows it. People are after you, so to speak. So it's like, I was like, man, I was like, man, as I'm sitting in this high rise overlooking the beach, great view, right? Looking, money just rolling. And I was like, man, I was just happier when I had less. So it was a very eye-opening experience to realize money isn't everything. And you just have to really be a good person and really work towards being happy with yourself. And, all that the right people will come around you.
Sounds like after you got that when people, get that second contract, everyone talks about he's, that bankroll. Sounds like it was uncomfortable for you also.
Yeah, it was, because you got to get used to from everybody knowing what you make, right? It's like, man, it's like to have, Noah Lack, $60 million. You're like, on ESPN, you're like, sheesh. You know what I mean? It's fun, it's cool, but it's just a lot when everybody knows. You feel like you have a target on your back, so to speak, right? And so it was tough.
Sports is and maybe this, I don't know if this happens in music with musicians, but sports is the only profession where they blast your salary out online. And now as an adult, if I'm playing if I'm in the NBA, like, I don't want people to see how many years I have on my contract and how much I'm making. That Woj bomb is like kind of scary. That's got to be scary for players.
It is, I think it's gotten to a point where it's almost like, but then like once you really sit back, I mean, if there's Fortune 500 CEOs right there sitting there, again, Noah Lack makes, president of whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, man, that's awesome, but and it is available, but at the same time, I think the league wants to like really show how much they're playing these players, right? So it gets the younger generation hyped to be like, wow, I can do that too. I want to do that. So it makes sense, but it's also, just very intrusive and, but, gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What was your playing weight?
I played at 290.
290. And what are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, now it's funny, I went plant-based for like 4 months. I'm eating protein now, but I went plant-based, really just did a hard cleanse, and now I'm 225.
I asked that because, man, you slimmed down, you look great, man, and clearly, like, healthcare is a big part of your life. Like, you seem to take it really seriously. I know we've been talking a little financial literacy, and but man, like, we had previously yesterday, Malik, we had Andrew Sendejo on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andrew, one of the hardest hitting safeties that no one talks about, is now the founder of a brain health supplement company called Brain Tree Nutrition. And he's basically making gummies and stuff to help memory, focus, help with sleep. And the overarching theme here for me, Malik, is like so many players now are like fixing their problems, or like, you had a Liz Frank injury your first year. Like, you didn't leave the league unscathed. Like, obviously this is healthcare is a huge, point of emphasis for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I didn't know Andrew was doing that. I have to contact him.
Andrew, I need a referral link, baby. Let me plug these guys.
And it's funny. You're right. I lost weight. I got cheekbones now. It's just one of those things when you're playing, you have to eat, you have to really give your body the nutrients right now. Granted, this is a great time to be alive because these guys are understanding what nutrition is, how to take care of yourself. My day, flying on the plane to go play a team, we're ordering a fried chicken from Popeyes on a Friday or a Saturday to go play. You realize maybe you should be eating some baked chicken and a little salad to really fuel your body the right way. So these guys have a lot of information out there. That's really, you see those caps that they put on helmets. It's really a lot of things out there to really make the game better. The hits are different, right? There's no more jacked up on Sunday mornings before the games.
That was a great segment, though, man. It's a great segment.
I loved it. I lived it. You know what I mean? So, the game has changed, and it's a lot more health focused, conscious. Maybe almost a little too much, but it's good for the game and the longevity of the players. No, healthcare is a big deal. I think once you learn, one, you kind of take for granted the training room and the type of doctors you have walking in there because you think it's just the norm. And then once you leave and all of it's taken away from you, you're like, damn, I really had it good. Because now you can't get a doctor on the phone, right? You can't get to questions that you need answered. So I think we understand our needs, and we understand, like myself and Andrew, we understand that there's a need for because it's almost like the baby industry, right? There's always going to be a new baby, meaning there's always going to be a new player coming out, coming in, retiring. So there's going to be a need to fix a lot of the complications that happen with football. And we're just trying to tackle it and, really have a model that's for us, by us, because we understand that, we understand what we're going through.
Look, I'm all about healthcare, Malik, for sure. But when that Popeyes chicken sandwich came out, I know that Jacksonville plane was going crazy.
It was crazy. I don't know if you ever watched the Boondocks, but the line was long. We had to call in early. They definitely did something for that chicken, it's just eating just to eat. But you realize as I've gotten older, I eat a lot more fruits and veggies. I'm blessed enough to have a chef. So, she bakes a lot of just nice things and, just being really health conscious and health focused, because unfortunately we're seeing a lot of guys pass away who in their early 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, which which just doesn't make sense, right? I know one of the things we're told when we're playing is sacrificing your youth. And when you're done playing the game, you have all this money and all this fame, and you can go live your life. But, that's showing to not really be a true statement because guys are passing away. And so, just really I have an 8-year-old daughter. So really just trying to be here for the longevity and live forever.
Yeah, I think baked chicken and vegetables will help that more than In-N-Out Burger, over there in SoCal. But man, you listen. I'll get off this after this. But like, you're from SoCal, right? Like, come on, man. That In-N-Out ain't doing it. I'm telling you. You're probably an Erewhon guy now. But where we're from in Houston, right? We got the Whataburger, we got the Chick-fil-A. Like you keep the Erewhon, man. You're a Trader Joe's guy over there.
Hey man, I'm still a Ralph's to the Albertsons kind of guy. I mean, hell, I'll stick to even Whole Foods. The Erewhon, I love their model, farm to table type of vibe, but the prices are a little
ridiculous.
Steep for, but hell, if you can do it, why not? You might, run into some George Clooney's of the world, some Idris Elba's walking around the Erewhon, not Malik Jackson.
Hey, that's where you may run into your chef over there. You never know. Maybe that's where he's getting the ingredients.
Yeah, I'll get that bill and be like, yo, you need to take that back.
No, absolutely. So you're in this this whole healthcare journey, this whole healthcare topic. The healthcare industry, at first for a casual person in business, is like, man, I need a PhD, I need to go to medical school, I need to take all these years of classes, and you were just kind of like, nah, I'm going to start like my own company, which is, rebranding to the Care League, providing, why don't you explain kind of in a quick pitch what the Care League is and sort of your vision for the company?
Yeah. So quick elevator pitch. The Care League is a medical concierge company, and we focus on providing continuous specialized care that bridges the gap between team managed healthcare and the overwhelming world of individualized decision making. Meaning that we want to be able to help guys and their families navigate the healthcare system to get the answers they need. Whether we have a 24-hour triage line, which will give you access to our head medical doctor, who's world renowned. He's down in San Diego, but then we have nurse practitioners where we do an in-depth intake form, and then we have a gut health specialist that will go through with you the answers after you do your in-depth intake form. We do a blood test. And then, so, there's just a streamline of things that we do to really give the players an understanding of their health. Believe it or not, guys don't even know, what blood type they are, right? They don't really think about getting, say, the physicals that they need to stay up to date with their health. A lot of guys are still trying to ice and stim for like heart murmurs and stuff like that, right? Just like that really is not going to get it. So what we do is provide the answers. If you need something, say, hey, Noah's like, hey, Malik, I need, my heart's kind of tripping. We'll send a mobile EKG unit to you to get the answers you need. If you need checkups, right, guys, prostates, we're getting to the age with all that. So it's really just providing just knowledge, one, because we send newsletters out on meals and up to date medical devices that are coming out that we partner with, and just giving information on to things that are bothering them and connections to the doctors that can help them, top tier doctors.
Obviously, Malik, parts of the body are more important than others, but I just want to get like a temperature check here. All your peers who've retired from the NFL, when you're talking to them, you're having these discussions, what are they asking help for the most in terms of like getting a checkup on? Is it, brain health for CTE? Is it their heart? Is it like their knees, their feet? Obviously, brain health and heart health is the most important. That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying what's kind of been the most requested, care that they're looking for that they, are having a tough time maybe getting on their own?
Yeah, well, I have to say our pillars are mental health, neurological health, and gut health, right? Those are our pillars, and everything else in between. I must say the NFL does do a good job of doing programs to help the guys and give them the knowledge, or not give them knowledge, but give them the connection, so to speak, right? Give them the access. So what we want to do is utilize that access that they provide and help these guys, because a lot of guys won't call you, spend a bunch of hours on the phone trying to figure things out, right? So that's where we come in, and I just want to acknowledge the NFL for doing a lot great programs. To your question, what we're seeing for is just a lot of, it's pretty random, right? We're seeing just a lot of guys just ask for just little things, right? Connections to a doctor just to get the answers they need. A lot of
Just a
guys want to
general
be
physician.
just general physician to talk to somebody. Understanding the benefits that they receive from the NFL is something we've learned and something that we're giving these guys as far as line of duty or workers' comp, just or anything in between, just what they can obtain. And so I think the biggest thing is really, we're beefing up our providers network. So we have the brain health center that we can go to that somebody's made the connections. We have, like I said, connections with doctors, internists, prostate doctor, or if you need a specialist for your knee, ankle, hip, so that's really it. We had a fundraiser to go to the dentist, and guys love that, just to go get their teeth whitened because they, haven't had a chance to do that. And so, we're just making connections and giving guys the value, and, they just ask us what they want. We give it to them.
No, absolutely. And, this topic of CTE and the concussion, I feel like the past 5 years, it's just become a bigger and bigger topic. And like you said, the NFL does a good job. Tons of players are doing their part, or realize that the healthcare after football is a big issue. But Malik, like, why you? Why did you think you were the one, the chosen one, to sort of start this?
It's funny. So I was sitting at home. I like to think about the world, and I'm like, okay, you say what's something that the world needs that's maybe made, but it can be changed and made better. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, man. As I'm frolicking on the beach, living like Pepe Le Pew, right? I'm like, all right, this is great. Don't get me wrong, but
Pepe
like,
Le Pew is a great one.
You know what I mean?
There
has to be something more, right? And so when I got home, I was like, man, I'm trying to get a doctor. Luckily, I knew somebody, and like I said, I did very well for myself in the NFL, so I can go get a primary care physician and pay for it. But I was like, this isn't the reality of a lot of my ex-teammates or colleagues, right? Not everybody did as well. Not everybody saved up the right way, or just got the deals or played for 10 years like I did. And so I was like, you know what? I think I need to create something just to help the guys and be there for them. Why me? Why not me, right? It's funny because as I'm doing this, I understand, Surgeon General, right? All the HIPAA laws, all the Stark laws, right? You have to be very aware of the medical laws because the United States takes it very serious, right? And so knowing that, and that's why I just realized to partner with the right people. Like I said, being in the NFL, you learn you got to build the right team to go far and win the Super Bowl. And so that's what I'm doing. Is just I understand what it takes. As being retired in about 2.5 to 3 years now, I'm close enough to the game where I still know guys and still feel the pains of it. But I'm also far enough to realize like what I missed and what I'm missing and what needs to be filled. So I just decided just to take the bull by the horns and really provide a service that guys need. And it's just, I think it came from a divine place, and just was like, hey, Malik, you need to do this and help your brothers out, sisters.
I think that's a perfect place, like that you mentioned. I like that you mentioned that, right? You're like kind of still tapped into the game, but also you're far enough removed where you can kind of have that like, big brother, I've seen this before, sort of, good intentions, more wisdom. It's very similar, Malik, to a previous guest we had on, my guy Chris Jenkins, who hit the national championship buzzer beater for Villanova to win. And Chris, right now, he goes around the country helping people and athletes with their NIL situation, just giving them more information, right? And he's kind of like that was 2016, so He's still played professional basketball, and so he's kind of like tapped in the game to where he's almost still kind of like a peer for these guys. But at the same time, he's still far enough removed to where, there is some wisdom under his belt, and there's just like that respect factor there. And I think at a high level, like when being a founder, like the timing is so important. And so that's why it makes sense to me, because you're sort of at this perfect intersection of like, yeah, I just played, but like, no, I know what I'm doing. I've got the experience now.
Yeah. No, it's true. And it's one of the things, I think the youth today in the NFL are really doing a good job of working on building their brands and their platforms, right? When I played, you weren't doing podcasts. You were going home, studying, and playing football. That's all. I was a football player, right? But now these guys are doing modeling, acting. Look at what the Kelseys are doing, right? Look at what a lot of these athletes are really having their podcasts and really showing themselves in their just who they are. And I think, and I commend them for that. So I think saying that, it's important for us to use our platform while we still have it. Luckily people still want to talk to me, and I won a Super Bowl, so people want to talk about that. So it's just utilizing what I'm able to do in my prior life to be able to make connections and just, give value to people, and just let them know, ease them down a little bit, let them know who I am, what I'm about, shoot the shit, so to speak, and then talk business and let them know I do know what I'm talking about. And, I am well versed in this, that was me, but this is me now. Right. So it's just being able to be, it just gives you a lot of, value and just kind of like length and volume to be able to talk about the old you and what you were able to accomplish, because everybody wants to hear those kind of stories and also what you're into now.
And any of your peers, any of your guys doing modeling that shouldn't be doing modeling?
You know what? I'm gonna let guys live. I'm gonna let guys live.
Man.
Those things, I had dreams of one day as well, but those dreams are slowly fading. I'm getting my salt and pepper in the beard and stuff. So I'm gonna let them live. I'm gonna just live through them.
What about like DSL, the Untuck It? There's some options.
Hey man, I'm down for it. And Bruno Cucciarelli, Tom Ford, if they need a big and tall male for their suits, I'm the dream is still alive. The dream is still alive.
Yeah, especially there in SoCal, right? I'm sure,
exactly.
A lot of your guys over there tucked up in the hills, like, man, you guys need someone to fit in that Tom Ford. I'm here. Just know where I'm at.
That's me. I'm living. I'm doing my abs, so I still have a little pudge. So I'm very much in the middle. I can relate to a lot of guys. So I'm there.
You just got to hit Tom Ford with the Coach Prime. I ain't hard to find. You know what I mean? If you need me, I'm here. I'm here.
That's it.
Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, but for you, is this sort of trajectory, obviously it never goes how you plan, but, feels very relationship driven now. Like you have a bunch of guys, and so you're sort of guiding them on their post-retirement healthcare journey, very scrappy, hand in hand, word of mouth. And then sort of, if it works out right, almost onboard healthcare providers onto the Care League platform, where players don't have to go to Malik every time, and they can sort of just go online and pay a membership fee to access the providers. Is that sort of like, Is that kind of the right way of thinking about this?
So yeah, that's the right way of thinking about it. We really want to look to provide value. So we're really looking to partner up with versed, also very highly educated professionals in their space, right? So like I said, gut health, prostate, internists, whatever we're talking about, being able to partner with them, utilize them in their, name and likeness, so to speak, to put them on the website. So Noah can go see what's out there. He can be able to see who we have, what we're utilizing. If it's something that they're looking for to be filled, do we have somebody there for them? They want to see what's going on. They want to see what's there. And so that's why we rebranded our website. We're adding providers to the website so people can go see. And one thing that's big for me is really providing two things, right? That big brother type of mentorship, right? Because when guys are just retiring, they're coming into a world they don't know about. So we're building up also a Rolodex of former players to be able to help these younger guys be able to get the services they need. And then also we want to be able to have that connection with the guys. So we have assistants that are going to call you all the time, once a week, right? Hey, do you need anything? Hey, what's going on? Are you feeling okay? Is there something we can do for you? We pass out newsletters to keep guys engaged, whether it be for diet or just information. So, we really want to encompass everything in the fact of just providing value, but also staying connected with you to let you know you're not alone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have just great infrastructure already, kind of, the network and the network on both sides, right? When I think about a marketplace, it's like the whole chicken and egg thing. I think I hear this a lot when founders are building marketplaces. It's like, there's not, why would people want it if there's no supply, and why would supply onboard if there's no demand? And so it's like this chicken and egg thing where it's like, what do you build up first?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to go back though to the gut health thing because I was genuinely curious about this. When if NFL players have gut health issues, the impact of tackling and getting hit, does that also impact gut health aside from just diet?
I would imagine so. That's a great question. That's something I gotta dive in and see the correlation. Um, I could definitely see that with like, I mean, hell, with muscles, you have lesions and tears in your muscles. So why wouldn't it be in the gut as well, right? That's a good point, a
Okay.
good question.
Hey, I'm
One
here.
thing
I'm
we
here
have,
to stump you, man. I'm here to push
yeah,
on
right?
it.
But one thing we have done is we're working on partnering with the vitamin company to be able to have that are well versed in just understanding the whole body, whether you need liver fixed up and healed or parasites or lymphatic system, just anything you kind of need to focus on to repair. We're partnering, and then even like you said, Syndejo to be able to for brain, right? We just want to partner with companies that are focused and driven and well versed in the area that they're in to provide healing for the organs that we need healing for.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And how long? Give me a time. How long have you been working on the Care League for?
So Care League was born last year. It's about a year and a few months now that it's been since its inception. We've grown legs and started running really fast. We had a little hiccup because we had to take a step back. Had some owner, we had to kind of shed some weight a little bit. But now we're back up and running. We have all our credentials. So we're moving. And that's why I said by the end of the year, we're looking to really build a plethora of members to be able to service. And then go into the following year, just keep building up that number. So luckily, it's one of those things, you make the connections, you build the product, and you add the value. And it's not easy, but it's not that hard. Yeah.
Think about the last 12 months though, like how much you've probably learned about. Forget about healthcare for a second. Let's just talk about the structure of the company, from incorporation to accounting to maybe payroll to go to market, sales, all this stuff in a year. I mean, you could just probably look back and be like, wow, my brain is just a mush right now. I'm just like a sponge. I learned so much. A lot happens in a year.
A lot happens in a year. It's funny you say that because I was talking to people and they were like, yeah, we need an MVP. We need this, we need that. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, okay. I was like, I have no idea what they just
Who's
said.
the MVP? Who's the I thought Aaron Rodgers was the MVP. No. Oh, different MVP.
It was mind blowing, just the fact. And I was like, you know what, Malik, you can't sit here and play football for 10 years, really 28, including from Pop Warner, to going into a world you know nothing about and trying to sit here and like thrive in it. So I was like, you know what, I need to put my 10,000 hours rule. So I started by going back to university. I did the University of Stanford School for Small Startups. It was like a 6-week business course. And so I did that, and I was able to understand what an MVP was, what a lot of these 3-letter terms were, or just understanding when people were talking, what they were talking about. So I did that, and it just really helped me be able to put myself in the position to communicate and understand. And then, like I said, now I'm going back to school, go back to Tennessee, go Vols. We're killing it this year. National champions, right? I'm going back to school to just finish what I started and then keep going and, go back for school for business and all this other stuff. Because I understand, when you're talking to people, you have to be able to relate and understand and communicate in the same way. And, playing football took a lot of time, but now, like you said, I'm taking a crash course on business, talking to people, and it's fun. It's nice to be able to reinvent yourself. You look back to the days I was there when the lady was like, shut up and shoot, to be able to be more than just an athlete, and be able to kind of transform and add value to yourself and show yourself that I can be more than just somebody who played football. I can be a businessman. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
The shut up and dribble thing. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Malik, startup lingo is funny, isn't it? Right? It's like
it is.
MVP, CAC, LTV.
Yeah.
At first,
Yeah.
I was like, "The fuck is this, man? Just explain it to me like I'm 5." Like,
You're right, but when you're sitting there with people trying to impress, and NFL guys are like, no, I know what you're talking about. Like, I'm in there, and then it's like, whoa! It's very eye opening experience to be a novelist at 32, right? Having a new experience and
It's
understanding.
humbling.
It's very, very humbling, and it's funny because I, in some ways, put the cart in front of the horse. Meaning, I just jumped into it. I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. Let's go. And I had a business partner back then, but now it's just like, let me slow down a little bit, right? Learn as we go. But like I said, that's also building a team that knows what they're talking about and that you can pull on, pull upon to get the answers you're looking for.
Do you mind if I do, do you mind if I quiz you on startup lingo?
Uh, let's try it. We might have to cut it out, but let's try it.
Okay. Like cause like, it's just funny that people use this lingo, but actually you could just explain it to me in like a couple of words and I like know what it means.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me give you something here. Do you know, okay. Burn rate.
Yeah, that's how much cash you're spending. I know that.
Okay. Churn rate.
Churn rate. Whew. I want to say it's the opposite. So it's how much cash you're taking in. I might be wrong.
The churn rate is, and I didn't understand this. I didn't understand what the hell churn was, but basically, what is the rate of like customers dropping off? So basically, if you onboard a bunch of members onto Care League, what's the percentage of them that are like, nah, I don't actually need this, and like not actually every customer is gonna like. You actually may find that some guys actually might not be good customers for you, and when they leave, that's like the churn rate.
Okay.
But it's like, why don't just someone say it to me like that? Like,
Yeah, right. Like, okay.
this one was the one I mentioned earlier, LTV.
Not limited, but I know this one. Value. I forgot it.
Yeah, it's like lifetime value.
Lifetime.
Like how much revenue, if someone's a member of Care League, how much revenue are they going to make for you during the course of their membership with Care League?
Yeah.
And they call that LTV. Someone could just say to you, yo, like, how much money is this person going to make for you throughout their time at Care League? And then other people would be like, what's your LTV? You know what I mean? Like, it's like the same thing.
Like, whew, I've learned a lot this last. You're right. It's the business. I did the course, and obviously I need to do it again. Right? It's one of those things. You're just learning stuff. You're meeting people, and it's fun. So
yeah,
let's keep going.
That MVP conversation, that was funny though. It's like you're thinking about like
minimum viable products. I know that one.
Yeah.
See, so I know that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. In the NFL, they always ask you about like, what's your welcome to the NFL moment? The time where it's like, oh man, this is a man's game, right? Like, oh, whoa, like I'm in the big leagues. So far in your journey, can you share like a specific story? Like, what was your welcome to entrepreneurship moment? Like, oh, building a business. This is getting real right now.
Yeah, my welcome to the business moment to this was, I think when you have meetings trying to use your platform, right, whether it be with the NFL, NFLPA, any other business people, to going into meetings and kind of being looked at as just a football guy. Like that was like oh, you're just a football guy, right? It's like, oh man, so I need to build myself up. And that was just really just showing and really just understanding the value of one, who you are and what you know, to be able to share with people. But I guess that was one. But I guess the big one was when I had to do with my former partner. We had to talk about finances and really partnership and equity and all that. And just realizing that even though you start together, there's still a lot of things that may not you see eye to eye, right? Just what you guys are doing, what you're bringing to the table, whether it be financially, is it 50-50 or is it 60-40? And then in that, is it equity 60-40, 50-50? Like, how do you see that? So really just understanding how business is in the cutthroat nature of, people want what they want, and, having to respect people. Because, in the NFL, you can just get in a fight and it's like, all right, cool, we're cool now. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'll see you later. Now there's compliance. You can't say too much. Do too much. So it's really a very respectful, cordial, disrespectful kind of way of getting your point across and getting what you need. So just understanding just the differences and the similarities of NFL and doing business, but more the differences of just not being able to say what you want, say how you feel, and just kind of hash things out. It's very lawyer based. So just understanding everything that comes with it.
Yeah. So like the co-founder relationship, that's tough.
Yeah.
And I one of my favorite things that I've read, Malik, and I'll send this to you, is that, have you heard of Y Combinator, the startup accelerator?
Yeah.
So they have something called the co-founder 10 commandments. And I'm going to read this for our audience. I'm going to read you the 10 commandments and then I'll get your reaction. Okay. I'm going to read, okay. So number one, talking to a co-founder, this is, imagine you're like talking to your another co-founder, your business partner. Number one, why do you want to do this startup? What are your personal goals here, both financial and non-financial? Number two, what will our roles and titles be? How will we divide responsibilities? Who will be the CEO? Very important question.
Yeah.
Number three, how will we split up equity? Big question. Yep. Number four, where will the company be based? Where will we each live? Will we work together in person or remotely? These are like a bundle of questions in each section. So number four, there's those three questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. So if like number one, there was like two questions in one section. Number two, what will our roles and titles be? How will we divide responsibilities? Who will be the CEO? That's all of number two. Number three is how will we split up equity? Number four is what I just mentioned. Are we going to work in person or remotely? Where's the company going to be? Number five, this is the group number five. What idea will we work on? If that idea doesn't work out, are you willing to change the idea? Are you only interested in working on ideas in certain areas? Right? Because like sometimes, people go on an idea, but you're actually like building a company, right? So like you have to do what works. And sometimes the first idea doesn't work, right? And then Number six, what needs to happen for each of us to go full time? Basically, you quit your job and we do this together. That's number six. Number seven, what is your personal financial situation? Are you willing to work for free and live on your savings? For how long? If you need a salary to work on this full time, how much do you need to feel comfortable? Will either of us put money into the company? That's all at number seven, which is a big one. Number eight, what will our typical working schedule be? Like what days, what hours? How long do we want to keep that up for? Are there any things outside of work that are important to you to make time for? That's an underrated one for me as I'm reading this off. Number nine, we're almost done. If we are successful enough to get to build a team of employees, are there things that are important to you about how we do that? Like building in person versus remote, having certain cultural values, having a particular approach to hiring or managing people. And then number 10, which is a big one, is what will we do if we're having trouble agreeing on an important decision? What will happen if we decide we don't want to work together anymore? And those are the 10 commandments.
I like those. I think number 7 really spoke to me. I think, but all of them are really in-depth questions to really, and I kind of like that, as I get a little more in-depth with the business and, working on it. I think when you onboard new people, it's important to have something like that because it's a questionnaire. Hey, answer these for me. Let me just see where your mind's at. Let me see what you're thinking about. And then you can get a gauge of who they are, what they're looking for, and just kind of see what they want specifically, right? So I think those are great lines of questions. Yeah, I would really appreciate if you can send me that because one, I can look at myself and really ask myself those questions. And two, ask other people the questions as well to see where their minds are.
Oof. The co-founder 10 commandments, they really make you think. It's like really deep stuff.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, plus it's funny. I learned that what they say, startups fail within the first year. But then if you have a co-founder, they fail like they cut that in half. So it's like half a year they fail, right? Just like you said, in one of those just decision making ways we're going, hell, I had the problem of this, where's the money going, how we're spending it, where's it coming from, so it's tough. It's really tough. It's almost like having a roommate. I don't mind living by myself because I can leave things where they are and I know what I did, right? But as soon as you get the roommate coming in and then they're not picking up their stuff, not cleaning their dishes, not adding value to the space, you get a little bit more resentful and, things start to happen. So
I can't, this is not an exact quote, Malik. I heard someone say, like, successful co-founder relationships last longer than most marriages.
That's nice.
That's crazy to think about.
That's crazy. I guess you take the sex out of it. It's just all business, What I mean?
All business, and the pleasure comes at the end when you exit.
Exactly. That's the pleasure. You're
yeah,
right.
No, it's tough. It's super tough. When Athletes and Assets hit a year since we incorporated, I celebrated. I was like, damn. I was like, thank God I made a year. Did you do something when you hit your year mark?
No, just kept working, because it's funny, like you said, it's funny how fast a year goes, right? I still remember being at the Soho House calling a friend like, hey, I have this idea and I want to go talk to this guy because I know he's in healthcare. Like I still remember the day like it was yesterday, and to be here today, it's just a blessing, just what we've been able to add, the team members we have, when we get on our team calls just to see what it, like the people and that believe in it. It's a blessing, but I'm just like, we're not done yet. I still feel like I'm in high school, right? We're looking to get to college right now, and then get in the pros. So it's never done, right?
Man, you got to treat yourself. Get into a year, man. I go swing down to Cabo for a sec or something.
Believe me, I think about it all the time. I'm like, I need to go do something, and then it's like, hey, Malik, you spent $20,000. Like I've been sitting in the same place. How am I spending all this money? But the business needs to build and thrive, and takes a dollar to make a dollar. So, but I'll definitely get down there one day.
You're on your game, man. You're focused. In 5 years from now, where do you see the Care League?
5 years from now, where do I see Care League? I see us thriving. I see us with well over 500 members. I see us providing value with a consistent kind of platform and a consistent plan that we have giving guys. I see us being not only from retired players, but working our way well into the pros and well into college and kind of working back to high school because we really want to get the athletes where they're at. So, and even the young ones to help them all the way through. So I see Care League thriving. I see Care League being a real player in the game of medical concierge and, really helping cornering the athlete market and really partnering with all the three-letter leagues, NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, to really provide value for their players in retirement. So just see us as adding value and being a staple for guys to know where they can go once they're done with their careers, or while they're still in their careers, get second opinions and get the value and get the care that they need.
Hey man, we want to support you on your journey, man. We're excited for it. We see I see the vision. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you, man. We're Team Care League, so we really appreciate it, Malik. This has been another great episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast. If you can, man, you're still watching, please hit that like, smash that subscribe button. We just had a great conversation with Malik Jackson, former 10-year NFL defensive tackle / menace, who is now on the other side running the Care League, being an entrepreneur. So Malik, thank you so much and welcome to the community.
Hey, Noah, like I said, thank you for the platform. It was a pleasure talking to you. This is really fun. Like Noah said, guys, go out there and press that subscribe button, press that like button. Really help me get my modeling career going, guys. That would be awesome. So,
man, let's get Malika some Tom Ford, man. We have to reward you for being healthy, right? Like
that's it, man. That's the goal. But thank you for the platform. Any athletes out there, the careleague.com is the platform. Go on there. You can hit us up. There's a number. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm always available. So look forward to just really adding value and being a person you can depend on. So
yeah, we'll definitely plug it. We'll definitely plug in the show notes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shit, it's about time. Welcome to the channel, Athletes and Assets with Noah Lack. If you can, please like and smash that subscribe button. Our community is growing really fast. We want you to be a part of it. Hope you enjoy.